we're here to talk about Taurus Millennium G2. It is a very affordable or a budget pistol from Taurus. Extremely reliable. Black finish, a 12-round magazine. Unit comes with two 12-round magazines. Yellow follower, has the pinky extension here. Metal construction. They appear to be really well made. They're made in Brazil, but they appear to be really well made. I've had this gun for a few months now. I liked that it came in such a small package. Normally in the summer months I carry, I rotate between a Smith & Wesson Shield XDS and a Walther PPS M2. This gun is about the same size dimensionally overall as those single stacks, but this is a double stack and it carries 12 rounds, which is really nice. Now, this gun was really affordable. It was $225. Some people pay a little bit more, some people pay a little bit less. I've been carrying this thing to test it out for the past, I don't know, probably 6 months now. Originally I was just going to try it for 30 days, but I got used to carrying it. It's a good size, it's a good weight, and a really good capacity. Taurus is just coming out with a new version of this, which is, I guess, the Taurus G2C. That one is supposed to, as far as I know, does not have this safety lock where you can disable the gun. As far as I know, that's the only difference as of now. There might be more information coming out, but I don't know about it yet. The sights on this thing are basic sights. This is pinned from underneath. I'm sorry, not pinned, but screwed on from underneath. The rear is adjustable for height and for windage. They're basic sights, but they're functional. I don't feel the need to change them out. Some people have to have, certain this, certain that. I don't. It does what it's supposed to do. I'm pretty accurate with the gun. Polymer lower, carbon steel on the upper. I'm not crazy about the finish. It already shows wear marks and holster marks. I prefer a Kydex holster. The first holster, well, first of all, the DeSantis, I think it's Nemesis or Nexus. I'm not sure what it's called, but this is for pocket carry, and I got it originally for my Shield and for the XDS and the Walther PP SM2, and it fits on those guns, and I can pocket carry those guns. This gun actually fits in there. It's a little wide for the pocket, unless you have cargo pants on. But it's, it gives you an example of how small this gun really is. In fact, it's probably comparable to that new SIG that just came out. Only difference is this has a 12-round capacity and not a 10. So it's probably slightly bigger overall here. I think this is 5.1 inches. I don't remember, but it is small. The only issue I have with this gun was the size of the grip. I have large hands, and when you go to pull this trigger, it breaks really far back at this wall. It's got a good trigger. It's a decent trigger. It's smoothed out quite a bit. I already have over 1,000 rounds through this gun. Everything on here is still stock. The only addition to this that I made to this gun is this Hogue grip. And if you guys put these things on guns before, this is the hardest gun I've ever had to put one of these grips on. I mean, it was difficult to put this grip on here. But by putting this whole grip on here, it actually gives me 0.33. It gives me 1/3 of an inch more pull length. More pull, I should say. Which for me allows it to, instead of the gun, the trigger resting on the second pad, now it actually rests on the first pad when I grab it. And like anything, you get used to this trigger. It has a safety on it. The trigger is decent. Right? Here's your take up. All right, first of all, it's a striker fired gun. I think they call this a double action trigger. It's really not the case. It's a striker fired trigger. You put the magazine in, empty magazine by the way. I have a target trainer inside there, so it's got a little red dot. Because I dry fire quite a bit. The gun overall, the feel of it is really nice. The look of it is decent. Now let's get back to that trigger. That trigger, okay, I loaded the magazine into the gun, put it around in the chamber. Okay, we're ready to go. This is your first trigger pull. You've got a large amount of take up. Right? It is a lot of take up, but it comes to a wall, and it's a really nice break. Now, here's your reset. It's really good. It's a good reset. And if you shoot off that reset, you'll like this gun. Now, people poo-poo about this and that and the other thing. People complain about Taurus. Well, you know what? I've had Tauruses back in the 80s, revolvers. I never had a problem. This gun has had, like I said, over 1,000 rounds through it. No hiccups, no malfunctions, no failures to feed, no failures to eject. It's ran perfectly. Now, for me, any gun any pistol, 9mm pistol that I get, when I first get it home, I don't go straight to the range. I clean the oil and the grease that they pack it in or ship it in. I also lock the slide back to compress the spring for a day or so, just to help break in that spring a little bit. On top of that, I use the first box or two is usually 124 grain or NATO spec ammo. 124, 125 grain or heavier. I normally carry 147 grain hollow points in this gun. And really, I did put 115s through it, but only after I cycled through a few boxes of probably 150 rounds of the hotter ammo. But I do that with all my guns, so I never really have a problem. So far, I've been lucky, knock on wood. Basic takedown has the dual tabs, one on each side. Excuse me. Pull it back slightly, pull the trigger, pull it right off. You can see the wear. The lower, it's basic, just like any other, polymer pistol on the market nowadays. And then you have the upper. You can see the wear. And if you notice, I don't have a lot of grease on here. This is the original spring. I may be getting a new one of these as a backup. Sorry. Because look at how it's loose. It feels kind of sloppy. But the thing is, it came this way. It hasn't really changed. Right? It's not like it's getting worse or anything like that. And I've seen reports that earlier versions had failed, that the spring actually jumped the captures here and here. But I haven't had any issues with it. Lakeline LLC sells a steel version of this, or a metal version. I don't know what it is. I'm thinking about getting that and trying that in the gun. If that one works in here, and I don't get any failures, I'll probably ride that one and use this one as a backup. Or if it does have issues, I'll get another one of these and have two of these. I'll put this one back in and then have another one as a backup. Capture spring, again, works really well. The barrel, basic barrel, shows a lot of wear. Like I said, over 1,000 rounds for this thing already. That's just the target thing that I use quite a bit in the house. Polished feed ramp. There is some machine marks, some lateral machine marks here that I may get rid of. But again, this thing has over 1,000 rounds through it, no failures. So kind of like, you know, if it ain't broke, why fix it? But I know that they're there, and it kind of bugs me that they're there. So I might be getting rid of those, polishing them off. You can see all the wear on the slide, but that doesn't bug me. Holster wear, the gun operates. That's what, to me, that's what matters. Now this is a good gun for your car. This is a good gun for the garage, backpack, a go bag. I mean, and the price is just unbelievable. So it's a good gun. I haven't had any issues with this thing at all. And now that they're coming out with a newer version of it, these might even drop in price a little bit. It does have a safety. It doesn't come without one. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it. But I don't mind it. What else? Holsters. I showed you that other pocket holster. This is the first one I got for this gun. It's an Outback's leather holster. Fits really well. What else is nice about this holster is that all the single stacks, the Shield, XDS, and the PPS all fit in here. So it does multi-duty. But there we go. I prefer a Kydex holster. It's what I prefer. I have these for all my pistols. I haven't had a chance to make the newer one for the gun I've been carrying now, but that I'm testing out now. But I don't know. I'll try to get in the garage this weekend or next weekend and make another. I carry this thing about 3 o'clock. And again, it's been really dependable, really reliable, excellent gun. And again, for the price, it's hard to beat this thing. Now, people, like I said, complain about Taurus, and if you can't afford a more expensive gun, this is a reliable gun. I carry this gun every single day. Well, up until about a month ago. I'm trying out a new the Wilson, or Smith and Wesson. That's Jesus. Smith and Wesson M&P 2.0 compact. And I don't know. Like I said, for the price, it's an awesome gun. With this whole grip, if you have large hands, it totally fixes that issue about how that trigger breaks so far back, or it feels like you have, crab hands, crab claws. But it's an awesome gun, especially for the price. Gotta loosen that retention. But that's it. Hope this helped. Take care.